For this video I wanted to talk about things that annoy me being pro-Palestine. The first thing that annoys me is that pro-Israelis always be seeing pro-Palestinians as Hamas supporters, and every time I get a pro-Israeli video recommend on YouTube, I know it's a pro-Israeli one simply because I can just look for Hamas in the title and or the description. What annoys me about pro-Israelis, whether when getting pro-Israeli YouTuber content recommended to me, or seeing pro-Israelis in the video, is that they don't seem to understand that we're pro-Palestine because of the people, and we support the innocent suffering, people being bombed, injured, killed and harmed by Israel. We support the people of Palestine begging for help. I don't understand why you guys view us feeling sympathetic for Palestinians as equaling to Hamas supporters. It's funny because if we look at you pro-Israelis, you guys show support to the government and support their genocidal ways, so you cannot call us Hamas supporters for having a heart when you guys literally don't see Palestinians as people. The next thing that annoys me is people trying to shed light on other world issues, which definitely need our attention, but those other world issues are being used to draw people's attention away from Palestine and not to actually care about the world issue. I was watching Kim Everson's video about the Nigerian Christians being killed, and while I do believe that issue does need to be brought up, Kim Everson was asking, why now? Because it was being brought up a lot when I think Kim mentioned that it has been going on for years.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but I have noticed this sudden explosion online about Nigerian Christians. Many influencers and politicians are suddenly weeping over Nigeria. Now, don't get me wrong. I think what is happening in Nigeria and to the Nigerian Christians is awful. But this has been going on for a really long time, and there are many atrocities going on in the world. But nonetheless, lots of people are suddenly weeping over Nigeria. Maybe it's because this is the new Hasbara campaign. Maybe they're using it to steer attention away from Gaza and to smear anyone who criticizes Israel as an anti-Semite who doesn't care about Christians.
It's funny because y'all are not showing support for Nigerian Christians, but rather using them against Palestine to divert attention, and all I can say is that it's sickening to have to care about Nigerian Christians for a particular reason and not because you feel for them. Also, it's disgusting as well that you're trying to divert attention from Palestine by bringing up Nigerian Christians being killed, when you never once spoke out against the Christians in Gaza suffering. The media has shown to talk a lot about Nigerian Christians, but where were the people to talk about the only Catholic, I believe, church in Gaza being bombed when it did? I remember being horrified when I read the news. I'm Catholic, but I didn't see the media mentions as much as with the Nigerian Christians, which again let me clarify, they do need to be talked about, yes, but not in a way that it's being used as a weapon. Every world issue needs our attention and we can't pick and choose who to care for because we're all humans and we have to care about all human life suffering. The next thing that annoys me is the influencer tour, where there were people who went on a paid trip to Israel, and there was that one guy who talked about the aid. Here's the video for you guys to recall exactly who I'm talking about.
I'm here in Gaza and all I see is food, water, and opportunity, but instead of Hamas distributing the ramen noodles, they're eating it all, and that's why their leaders are on Ozempic. The United Nations brings the food here to look like they're actually doing something productive, but they never finish the job, just like your ex. Now this food is sitting here collecting flies, but y'all want to blame Israel.
What I noticed is that this guy was saying things about the aid and showing it to us, but never showed us the aid going into Gaza. I found that funny considering this guy was defending Israel but only showed the aid there, instead of what is gonna happen to the aid after, which of course is gonna be held by Israel and not distributed, which is a major hole in his defense because you're being paid to promote a narrative and move on with your day, not caring if the aid gets in or not. These influencers obviously never cared about Palestine and care more about money than people's lives, being ever ready to Hamas this and Hamas that. The next thing that annoys me is people who are pro-Israelis never caring about the people of Palestine, even the animals there. What makes these pro-Israelis worse is them having family members or animals, but not caring about Palestine. You cannot sit here owning an animal of your own, but then ignore the animal abuses that happen in Palestine. Let me play you one example from Blakely.
Do me a favor and don't tell me about how much you love animals if you're not going to say shit or haven't said shit about the terrorism being inflicted on the animals of Palestine. Right now, go on Instagram and look up this handle and go look at the videos on their page. Tag PETA, tag any other animal rights organization you could think of. Tag our media, tag our lawmakers, tag all the people who pretended to care about Hassan's dog. There are terrorist settlers that went into this place. There is a video of it, traumatizing video of them beating lambs to death. There is a baby lamb on the ground dead, and terrorist settlers throwing and beating helpless, trapped lambs, terrified, just nowhere to run, nowhere to go, and they are picking up the lambs, throwing them, and then beating them and killing them with cinder blocks. Where are the fucking animal rights organizations, okay? It's bad enough that you bitches are ignoring the genocide in Gaza and all the animals they're killing in Gaza. These terrorist settlers, which, by the way, a lot of your American taxpayer money goes to fund these welfare bums as they terrorize Palestinians in their homes in the occupied West Bank. They kill their animals. They literally kill their animals. Go watch that video and go in the comments and tell them, the animal rights organizations like PETA, ask them, what the fuck are you doing about this?
Also, how can you not feel for the Gazan people suffering, being killed, losing body parts, losing loved ones, being starved at the hands of Israel? You have loved ones at home, so how can you not think, what if my family member were in this situation? Quote. Like, how can you support a genocidal state killing innocent civilians? You have no right to be so happy with your own family and or pets if you don't feel for Gaza or animals in Palestine, because how do we know you're truly a loving, caring person if you're pro-Israeli? For this last point, this isn't meant to attack any religion at all, I'm just pointing something out that annoys me that I saw. The final thing that annoys me is when there are pro-Israelis trying to discredit LGBTQ+ pro-Palestine supporters with words like, but how does Palestine feel about gays? Possibly because Palestine is Muslim majority. But let me ask you one thing, but how does Israel feel about gays? Because y'all use this, the, how does Palestine feel about gays, point, as a weapon against LGBTQ+ people who support Palestine, trying to bring religion into this, but if we talk religion, your point doesn't completely make sense. While yes, there are Muslims who may seem anti-LGBTQ+, you cannot sit here and use that as a weapon when Islam isn't the only religion to have people like that. Other religions, including Christianity and Judaism itself, definitely have people like that. So you can't act like your religion is any better with LGBTQ+ people when we all know you're just using LGBTQ+ people to make a point and you'll throw them under the bus when you're done. Every major religion has certain people like that, and it cannot be tied down to one religion.